Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we have yet another fabulous vlog from those fabulous human beings known as the Inghams. Chris and Sarah, they're back on it after what could only be described as an absolute shambles yesterday, hence why I didn't even bother reacting to it, because of, nobody wants to see what Sarah eats in a day. But today, Chris, I'm glad to see you are right back in there, back in the game. Some might say with the old exploitation, kids in bikinis on the thumbnails. We've missed it, certainly. We have. And you're pulling out the big guns. Unfortunately for you, nobody's interested still. The views are as low as they've ever been. In fact, they're about as low as they were on the vlog about Sarah eating crap in a day. What a sad existence this must be. That goes for anyone, not just the Inghams, but anyone who exploits their kids for money. Imagine just hiding round the bushes or hiding down the street, ready to get a capture of your kids walking in the distance down to the beach. It just smacks of, well, we know what it smacks of, but imagine having to live your life like that.
There's nothing quite like starting the day, sat in front of a gorgeous view of the ocean.
This is all we got.
Sarah's having definitely a pregnancy low energy day today.
It's probably because of all the rubbish I've eaten all week.
You haven't eaten bad this week.
Yeah, but I've eaten a lot. Ice cream and woman before midday, why not?
I know she's talking about a pregnancy thing, but I'm sorry, Sarah, that's kind of your regular diet generally. You don't have a problem eating chocolate and ice cream and sweets and everything else before midday, usually anyway, pregnancy or not.
Why not?
I would never do that at home.
It's all good.
You'd never do that at home. Easter eggs for breakfast, anybody? Just saying. It may not be ice cream, but
So today is our last full day here. So today we get to obviously stay the whole day, sleep tonight, but tomorrow we're going home.
But we do have a whole full day tomorrow.
We don't
get picked up from the airport until 6 PM.
Yeah, so yeah, our transfer back to the airport is at 6 PM tomorrow. So we still get a full day here tomorrow, which is ace. And our flight's like a bit stupid o'clock back home, but it's all good.
We've had 3 days off of vlogging. So whenever you do that, because we just wanted to, we were a week behind, so we wanted to make sure we could have days vlogging to share with you guys. And
vlogging to share with us, guys. Well, I for one feel special, as do so many of the iFam in your comments who agree that it's so lovely of you to share with them your holidays. You don't have to do it, of course, they tell you. You can take some time off if you wish, but do they not realise by now that this is your job? If you take time off, you don't get paid.
Also days where we just didn't have cameras and we just enjoyed it, and and it's been really, really nice doing that. But whenever we come back to vlogging after having a few days off, don't you think it always feels weird? It always feels like
I don't know, what's the word for it? What's the word, guys? What's it feel like? It almost feels like a massive lie, doesn't it? It almost feels like a massive lie. I mean, I'm not saying that you are lying, but we've had 5 days of vlogs at the on your holidays, and you're saying you took 3 days off. That would be 8 days plus tomorrow, which would be 9 days. So you had a 9-day all in holiday. I'm not convinced that's entirely true, but I could be wrong. I'm not saying that you're lying, but nah.
It takes you a minute to get back into it.
It takes you a minute, yeah, that's right.
This hotel is still definitely our best all-inclusive hotel we've probably ever stayed at. No, it is actually. It ticks so many boxes, it's unbelievable.
Well, now you're making me feel inadequate. This is by far the best all-inclusive resort you've ever stayed at. how many have you stayed at to say that it's the best one? It's like you go away on them all the time or something, you know? I've never been on an all-inclusive holiday, okay? I know that's just me. I know many other people do, so don't come at me. But I'm just saying that if you have been on that many that you can pick and choose which is your best one, perhaps you're going on too many.
The food's out of this world. It's all just great. It's all really, really good stuff. And taking in this beach view this morning just reminds me of, even though this adventure's coming to an end, we've got a very exciting one coming up.
Okay, Chris, I'm going to tell you something out of the kindness of my own heart, and that is, please, for the love of God, stop calling it an adventure. It's a holiday. It's an all-inclusive holiday, or it's a business trip. An all-inclusive business trip, if you like. It's not an adventure. Every time we go away, it's not an adventure. We're going to go off on another adventure. Come on, kids, we're going on another adventure. You're trying to make it sound more exciting than it actually is, but at the end of the day, it's just a holiday.
Straight after it. We're really excited about that.
Look at Lady Muck sat right there.
Straight after it. We're really excited about that. That RV, that big massive motorhome that we bought, is getting some serious usage.
Getting put to the test.
You're getting put to in a couple of weeks' time, yeah.
Listen to the feedback, Chris. These holidays are more entertaining to watch than van holidays. I couldn't agree more. Indeed. Somebody, as a side note, replied, "That's okay, but they love both, so don't expect them to abide by what you find more entertaining. People need to live life." Okay, so this is what I'm going on about when I talk about things like the IFAM and not understanding that they need to do what their fans want them to do. There's no point just putting out van life vlogs for the sake of it, because Chris loves it when the IFAM don't love it. You know, you're not going to get anybody watching. So when it's your job, you listen to the feedback and you do what your fans want you to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty much test driving that thing, yeah. This is definitely one of the coolest things about this beach. The fact that you can sit under these big old shades. And then these guys are totally covered. No worries about the sun at all when you're on the beach.
Do you know what I'm worrying about?
What?
My eye, Solly. You've still not got me.
Oh, fine. There we go. Baby girls?
Oh! Yeah!
Oh, what?
Yeah!
Good, me, please.
Me too!
No, that one's yours. This one's Dad's. Obviously, all the girls who denied wanting an ice cream before now want one. So now I'm going back to get them one.
Unpopular opinion, perhaps, but I would probably have made them get their own if they wanted their own, because they are young, healthy, and fit enough to go and get their own. So let them get them at their own.
Original Twizzy.
Speaking of filming your kids in bikinis and nearly nothing, next to no clothes, right? I happened to see the one that you posted. Was it on Facebook? And it was basically almost, well, it was inappropriate. Let's be honest, it was inappropriate. So what goes through your head, Chris, when you post shit like that? Do you think to yourself, I can see my daughter, she's nearly naked, let's post her for the world to see? That would be good, wouldn't it? Is that what you actually think? Or do you actually think, that's a lovely picture of my daughter, I just like to show it off to the world? But I just don't get your mindset. What actually goes through your mind when you do shit like that?
Once you're in, it takes your breath away for a second.
You know what else takes my breath away, Christopher? You half naked, or naked in the pool. All I can think about right now is what you're wearing underneath that sea. I'm just... Sarah is a lucky girl.
Going on here. Okay, so as a starter, I got Caesar salad. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I've had hiccups like 3 times today. Every time I start vlogging, I've got hiccups.
We're gonna try it. That is so good. Like, even the cheese is a bit stronger. It's so nice.
Oh yes, avocado and grilled chicken salad sandwich, sub roll. This looks so good.
The best thing about having a big family is that I get to share. So I did order a burger, but I'm sharing me and Mum half and half, didn't we, Mum?
Am I missing something? Or is that Isabel's math skills coming out at play again? The best thing about having a big family is the fact you get to share your food with the other family members. Usually, for most people, the worst thing about having a big family is that you get to share with your family members because they eat it all, right? And so the less people that you have in your family, the better it is. The worse, the more people you have in your family, the worse it is in terms of that respect. So maybe math's not quite up there for Isabel.
Yeah. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, this is the chicken sandwich. So good. It's a burger test. Do you like the burger, Mum? What do you think? Is it good?
So we just came round the water park front of the hotel where all the water slides are. I think the older 3 girls and Chris are going to go and play on the water slides. Unfortunately, I can't. Actually, that brings me to a really good question. If you were pregnant, would you go on water slides? I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to this. Personally, I won't. I'd be too worried about hitting the water fast. But we've seen a few women heavily pregnant, like big bumps, smash that water at the bottom of those slides a few times. Isabel's like, I can't watch. But I don't know, would you do it or would you not? Comment down below and let me know.
Well, I'm not an IFAM, but does my opinion count on this? See, I've done a little bit of research and every single, almost exclusively, every single article that I've actually found online states that you should not, it's definitely recommended not to go down a water slide whilst being pregnant because it's dangerous for the baby. There's twists and turns. It's like going on a roller coaster, right? You shouldn't do it. And I'd be surprised, now hear me out, okay? I'd be surprised if those people that you saw go down the water slides were indeed pregnant, because the amount of people and the amount of common knowledge it seems to be that you shouldn't do it, I'd be surprised that anybody actually did do it. Maybe the odd very, couldn't care less woman might have done it, but I'd be surprised if there was many. And given the fact that you said that the place is basically empty, where have all these people come from? You're expecting us to believe that not only are there suddenly loads of people, but a good portion of them are pregnant women going down water slides. I'm not entirely sure you are telling the truth here, Sarah. Possibly you have an ulterior motive. Was it in fact yourself that went down the water slides and you're just seeking validation about it? That's a possibility. Not saying it's true, obviously. Don't want to be brought up against the, So yeah, that's it shouldn't be done, basically. Although I did find one article that said, yeah, it's fine, why not? That's probably the one that you read, wasn't it?
I'm going to sit round the little children's pool with Jason Mila. I've got another question for you guys coming up now. So does anyone else's child get completely overwhelmed with the amount of water literally splurting out every single inch of these mini children's play area type part? Because Jason Mila absolutely love this children's area at about 4:30 when they turn all of the jets off. And other than that, they just don't want to go on it. It gets in their eyes, splashes on their head, they can't see, sun cream's in their eyes, and it's just a big drama. And I kind of understand why. I walked Jace through and I was drenched.
I can sense a complaint coming in, Sarah. It's okay though, it's okay. I've got you covered. The Sherwood exclusive Lara Hotel and Resort have their very own policy to protect your kids, to make sure that they're fine, right? So this is the Sherwood Forest, whatever it's called, Child Protection of Child Rights Policy. May as well be Sherwood Forest, right? Am I right? Anyway, Sherwood Resorts and Hotels accept that every child has the inherent right to life. Well, I am so glad that they have all the kids covered, because I kind of agree that children do deserve to live too. Sherwood Resorts and Hotels shows maximum potential effort for the survival and development of a child. So no matter what happens, if your child goes under those little sprinkly things, the water things that you're complaining about that, Sarah, if it goes in their eyes, if the sun cream trickles down their face into their eyes and they can't see for the love of anything, these people will show the maximum potential for saving their child's life. And, so don't be worrying. Rest assured, they do have your kids' best interests at heart in saving lives and stuff. So that's good. It's always good to have that. I'm sorry though, Sarah. At that point, that's where their protection of your children on your terms ends. I'm sorry, that's where it all comes to an end, because the next ones kind of go against everything you believe in. I'm sorry. Sherwood Resorts and Hotels accepts that every child has the right to education. I would never go back there again, Sarah. Never. If they have those insane thoughts and those insane beliefs, why would you ever want to go there? I would have read this before I'd have gone, actually, if I were you. Okay, now this one has some long words and a little bit complicated for the tiny mind of Sarah Ingham. So please, Sarah, bear with me. I will try to break it down for you, okay? Sherwood Resorts and Hotels accepts a child's right to have protection from economical exploitation and any kinds of hazardous occupation of being employed in a way which may cause harm, etc. Right? But the part we're interested in here is the economical exploitation, which means, in layman's terms, money. Okay, there's a term that you understand. Money. It means that you cannot exploit your kids for money. They don't like that at the hotel. I wonder if they were aware that you were doing that very thing right under their noses. I can't believe they allowed you on their property. In actual fact, I would have chucked you out by the ear for what you have breached of their particular child protection terms. Now it's getting to fighting talk now, Sarah. I'm sorry. Sherwood Resorts and Hotels give assurance of protecting every child from every kind of sexual exploitation and sexual abuse. For that purpose, it takes every necessary precaution on an international level and bilateral and multilateral relations for the purpose of preventing children from being deceived or being forced in, etc. And it goes on basically to say about the what we would say traditional forms of sexual exploitation, right? But what it says here is every kind of sexual exploitation, which in my mind, and most people I think agree with me, is that displaying your children, actual children, and yes, Isabel is actually still a child, right? But also Esme and even Isla, you know, putting them out there in barely their bikinis is actually exploiting them sexually, right? That is, by every definition, sexual exploitation, and I don't think you can really argue against it. You could try, but you can't, because that's exactly what it is. I for one can't really get my head around how there would be any defense against that. And here it's saying that it's actually not within their policies for you to be able to do that. What do you think of the lovely resort now? The one, in fact, that you said was the best all-inclusive you've ever been to. Ever! And yet they do not hold the same beliefs as you. It's like a different religion. I'd cut them off if I were you.
Thank you. You guys go in, have fun. So they absolutely, about 4:30 they turn all of the jets off, and it's just like a calmer place to play. They're not interested when all the jets. We just got back to the room, started packing up to go home tomorrow. This place has been so amazing. I just opened Jace's travel suitcase, realising that the last time I touched this travel suitcase was when we arrived, the night we arrived, and we put it in the wardrobe. And it's still full of the sweet packs I'd packed for the flight on the way out here. So, yeah, still packed. All the spares. And another one, I think that was Jace's. And then loads and loads more sweets in there. And also everything I thought, what a sweetheart. You gonna go to bed? You just woke up. Yeah, all the toys that I brought just in case. Anyway, at least we've got treats now for the flight home. We've probably got about an hour. We've got a dinner reservation tonight at one of the a la carte restaurants. Which one did we book? The Turkish? Yeah. There was Italian, which we didn't want to do because Italian just seems a bit standard, like it's just pasta and pizza, which is amazing, but we wanted to do something a bit different. The other two were Turkish, which we've gone for, because we're in Turkey, it just felt right. And then the other one was Mongolian, which sounded amazing as well. The food at this hotel has been really, really good. The only thing that I haven't been blown away by is the evening buffet that's also open at lunchtime and breakfast time. And we've not eaten there at lunchtime just because the evening's just not been amazing. There's been like 2 or 3 nights that I've really thought, that was a really good dinner. But aside from that, it's not been... There's something to eat every night, don't get me wrong. You're not going to go hungry.
Well, I'm disappointed. I've got to say, I was led to believe that the sole reason why this place was so amazing was just because of the food. Chris said the food was out of this world, the best he's ever had, and that made the entire resort just amazing. But now you're telling me that, yeah, it was like some of it was actually just substandard. It wasn't that great, really. You're quite disappointed. So, you know, perhaps, Sarah, perhaps it's the amount of ice creams that you have during the day. Could be the reason why it kind of spoils your dinner.
But I think if they weren't such good a la carte options all around the resort like there is, and it was only the buffet, and say we'd booked for 2 weeks, I don't think that I would have loved that. Yeah, I don't think I think I'd have got bored very quickly. There's a lot on offer, but just not stuff that I'm used to. Or I did see a couple of reviews saying this.
Was the 9 restaurants not enough for you, Sarah? I'm actually blown away that you could actually possibly say that you got bored too quickly of the food on offer. When all that you ever have at home is like cheese and crap and boiled mince and things like that. So maybe you're missing that. Maybe the home comforts of a boiled mince spaghetti bolognese is just... Get yourself home, Sarah.
Just things like random stews, not really random, but they just don't look very appetizing. Some of them look quite sloppy, don't they? Some of the dishes in the buffet. Chris is saying I've quite liked it. He's legit eating mashed potato all week with chips.
I haven't eaten mashed potato chips all week.
No, he hasn't.
I haven't.
He hasn't. He's eaten a few things. And there has been nights where it's been good, but there's just a lot on offer, and most of it's, you know, they're wet dishes. They're like stews, but with random...
Lots of fishy stuff as well, which I'm not...
Lots of fish stuff, we're not, yeah, like massive actual fish with eyes on their face on your plate.
Yeah,
Chris got one of them last night, actually.
It was actually alright.
Yeah, Chris got, he's a sea bass. Yeah, so, yeah, oh, I've got a funny story to tell you. Should I tell you a story? No, I'm going to tell you it later. Don't let me forget.
What?
The Chris story.
Almost time to say goodbye to this view for good. Oh, I'm going to miss it so much. Such a nice night tonight as well. We've got a beautiful sunset over the top of the hotel there. And we're just getting ready to head out to our Turkish a la carte speciale restaurant tonight.
Speciale?
Very excited about that. Let's have a look, Alice. Oh, very, very... Have you made these yourself?
Yeah, my sunglasses were scratched, so I decided to pop the lenses out and use them like this.
Okay, that's cool, man. You look cool.
Thank you.
Even though we do have all day tomorrow to enjoy this place, we don't have the room.
It's not the same on the last day.
And it's not the same on the last day, yeah. You kind of, although you're trying to enjoy it, you kind of end up just kind of waiting to go at the same time.
Yeah, you do.
It's kind of weird. But oh, look at this place, man. I would 100%, if anyone's trying to come to Turkey or thinking about coming to Turkey, 100% do it for starters. And 2, 100% come to this place because it's been a wicked week and we would love to come back to this hotel.
Okay, Chris, now I've had an idea. Now don't dismiss it without hearing me out, okay? Why don't you get a place out there? Or why don't you, better still, just book an apartment or stay in the what's that okay, I'm going to sound stupid now. What's that thing where you basically you just stay in the hotel constantly? I know what I mean, right? I do. Basically, go and live out there in Turkey and stay there the whole time. And that would be your, like, home. And then you could go on holiday back to your other home. You know, just... It might be nice for you just to in fact, why don't you leave the country and just move out with the UK? You don't seem to like the UK an awful lot. Irrespective of anything that's happened to you, you don't seem to enjoy being there whatsoever. So why don't you just move to some other country, you know? Not even suggesting America, just Turkey or the Maldives. I've lost. I'm lost. Let's go.
Saying that, I said if we ever come back to Turkey, I actually don't think I'd come back to this hotel. Not that there's anything wrong with it, because there's not. We've had an amazing time. But there just looks like so many amazing places to stay here.
Yeah, to be fair though.
There's so many, and I really do want to try that Titanic hotel one time maybe, and I do want to try loads of others that we had on the list.
Okay, so basically, let me explain real quick, right? If you're coming to the Antalya region, which is where we are, we're in Antalya. We're in a place called Lara Beach in Antalya, and this whole strip, this whole area, Lara Beach, the whole piece of coastline we're on, is just littered one after another with all-inclusive 5-star and 4-star hotels.
Hang on though. So you stayed there. You've been there now, what, for 9 days? 8 or 9 days now, right? And you haven't once been outside the hotel. You've been to the beach, and that's it. You haven't explored into town. You haven't been to the shops even in town. You haven't been to any of the landmarks, the beautiful architecture that they have over there. It looks really nice, the town, genuinely. You haven't actually been to see any of it since you've been there. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Jeez.
Beautiful, all the way down, up and down the whole area. So you can't really go wrong. The area is lovely, there's shopping places everywhere. And they're all pretty much the same hotel. Me and Sarah were going to book that hotel that's next door to us. I don't know if we've said that before now, but we were going to when we were looking between the two. And we ended up with this one. But the other ones that we looked at as well, like the Titanic, we didn't realise was next door. And the Concorde is next door. They're all here. They're all in the same place. So
weird, isn't
you can't really go wrong. If you go into Antalya, there's any hotel's pretty boss. So, but this one has particularly been amazing for us.
Really
We've loved it.
Yeah, we have.
But now we're going to have some Turkish delight, hopefully.
Turkish delight.
Yeah, some Turkish delights, plural delights. I said Turkish delights before because this is a traditional Turkish restaurant.
You know what is also traditional in Turkey? In Turkish restaurants, in actual fact. In fact, this is traditional throughout the world. It's kind of universal, but, you know, is wearing hats in restaurants. It's kind of frowned upon and actually shows you up for being a very, very twatty person. Okay, I guarantee you people are watching you right now and looking at you and thinking, what the fuck has he got on his head? In Turkish or whatever language that people are there, they will be thinking exactly that, because it's not normal to go into a restaurant out for an evening meal with your family, everyone dressed up, even Isabel and Esme, they're all dressed up, and you have got a beanie on your head. And I don't buy into all this, oh, he's always wearing his beanie, it's such a great fun time. Wearing a beanie, wearing any hat into a restaurant is kind of frowned upon, generally. If you went out to a really posh place and you wore a beanie, they'd chuck you out.
Which we are absolutely loving right now. We've just made our order. Sounds amazing.
How good are these tapas trays? You can try everything.
Yeah, the starters. Not the starters, sorry, the
Tapas tray.
appetizers. Very, very good. Check these out. They're so insanely good. With some nice warm bread.
I wanted something different. I only got the chicken. I wanted to try something different. So I did go for lamb and I did enjoy it. But I don't think I'll make a habit of eating it just because I just... Lamb. Then Esme and Isabel had a discussion over a lamb not being a sheep.
I say it next to me. A lamb is not a sheep, it's a lamb. No, Isabella. A lamb is a sheep. They just call it a sheep because it's like babies. Mila is called a baby, right? But she's still a human being. She's still human, but people just call her a baby because she's little.
But maybe the sheep is like an adult.
Well, I always say it's like
It's still a sheep though.
yeah, I know.
it's like calling Mila
Calling Mila a woman.
So yeah, I'll leave you with that. Debate over whether a lamb is a sheep or a sheep is a lamb. Is a lamb a baby sheep or is a sheep a baby lamb? Who knows? These don't.
Little woman, little Ted. Anyway, it's been really, really nice. But I think we're going to get...
For context purposes, because, you know, we know that Chris doesn't like to leave in context. He likes the drama and the, you know, the controversy that it's going to bring. Oh my God, Isabel doesn't know that a lamb is a sheep. You know, it's so much drama. Isabel posted it over on her own channel, the full conversation, and it was something over nothing. So, there you go. Didn't mean shit. Pointless. It really was pointless. Anyway, so thank you all so much. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've appreciated me sitting through it all and going through it all and reacting to it all and letting you all know what's going on in the Ingham world. I need to know that you've appreciated it. So thumb it up and comment everything you want to comment down below. And most of all, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, because I'm getting near 9,000 subs and you need to do that before I cry. Okay? Thank you all so much. Until next time, have a lovely day, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.